Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I just want to say again thank you so much for the lovely comments and the likes and all the views on my last video. I really appreciate it. It's so awesome. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be more of the serious vibe, but there's still going to be a bit of fun in it. It's going to be a couple of different stories. Just say it, just say it. Okay, just come out with it. This is something I don't really talk about a lot, so it's quite difficult. Basically, I suffer really badly from anxiety. It's something that a lot of people don't really know about me, and because I'm really good at putting on this like kind of happy-go-lucky, like I'm, you know, chilled kind of persona, but it's not really me. There's so many layers to anxiety in general, but especially to mine, and it goes so deep that there's so many different tangents that I could go into, but that's for another video, another day. My anxiety pretty much has taken over my whole life ever since I can remember. It's really horrible to live with, and it's only in the last few years that I've started to get help for it, like one-to-one help, and also to take medication for it to help me. And it has, it's really helped in a lot of different ways, actually going to see about it. So if anyone does struggle from anxiety, I would definitely recommend going and talking to someone about it, because it's really helped me. But even though I've been getting help for mine, it's still there. It's always going to be there and I can't get away from it. The medication and the talking and stuff just eases it a wee bit and kind of makes you feel less alone, and the medication kind of helps with the physical symptoms, but it's all still there in your head, unfortunately. Today I'm going to focus more on social anxiety. So basically just being out in the world and having to talk to different people and just dealing with social things, which for someone with social anxiety is pretty difficult. I basically live my life indoors. I have for a long time. There was a period of time in uni that I basically just spent my 4 years just inside. I didn't really go anywhere. I would go to my uni class and then I would just come home, and that would be it. I don't really know a good way of explaining it, because anxiety is really difficult to explain. It's not fear, it's not nerves, it's something completely different that only if you've experienced it you will get. So this might be quite a pointless video, but my social anxiety has just stopped me, you know, making friends, socializing with other people, being able to go out. I've gotten to so many different stages of preparing myself to go out. I would get myself ready to whatever I was going to, get myself to the door, and I wouldn't be able to open the door and leave. It gets to that point and it's just really bad. There's been multiple things that when I'm out and about I've just not been able to deal with, and I have complete breakdowns, and it's just awful. Over the last few years I've tried really hard to try and tackle it head on and just try and, you know, face the problems, which is really difficult, but there has been situations that I've been really quite proud of myself, and it helps in the long run. One of my favourite things to do is go to concerts and shows, the theatre. I love gigs, I love music, I just love like all that kind of stuff. So that's a major part of like my social life and my enjoyment. Having anxiety with it though can be difficult with the crowds, not knowing what to expect when you get there. What if someone's on your seat when you get there? How do you deal with that? Getting there on time, how do you get back? There's just so many different like aspects of it that goes through my head before I even book tickets. But it's something I just love to do so much that I've really tried to step up going and getting tickets for all these amazing things that I love so much, all my favourite artists and musicians, like everything. I want to do these things, so why not? Why am I letting my anxiety stop me? So I've decided, no, I'm going to go to these things. One of the things I've done in the last couple of years is I bought meet and greet tickets to meet celebrities. I know. When I got to the point of going to meet them, I was just like, why have I done this? This is so not for me. But I am glad I did it. even though some of them just turned out terribly. Basically, I'm going to tell you the stories of the 3 celebrities that I have met while suffering from social anxiety. So, number 1. I'm a massive Colleen Ballinger and Miranda Sings fan. I find her so hilarious. I loved her Netflix show Haters Back Off, and she's just amazing. And I saw that she was coming to the UK back in 2016. I know she's been loads of times before, but I've never plucked up the courage to actually get a ticket and go. When I went on to get a ticket, I saw that there was meet and greet tickets, and I just thought, you know, if I'm going, then why not meet her? It would be amazing. For this one, when you get there, we have to come like a couple of hours early, and then we all go in and have like a Q&A with Colleen, and then you meet her individually. So for the full Q&A, you know, I'm wanting to ask a question, but I'm not at the same time, and I had questions in my head, and I was just like, no, no, I'll just stay here and sit quiet. Oh no. And then when the Q&A was over, I was like, I wish I'd asked her a question. So it's things like that. Like with anxiety, there's things you do in life, and then as soon as it's over, you have ultimate regret. Whether you do something because of your anxiety and then you're like, no, that was terribly wrong and embarrassing, or your anxiety stops you from doing something that you really wanted to do, and then you're just raging with yourself after it. So going up to meet her, I just had in my head all these different things that was going to go wrong, and what I was going to do when I got up to her, like how I was going to pose for a photo, what was I going to say. It was a good experience, but also a terrible experience, because at the time I wasn't taking any medication or anything, so my stomach was just, it felt like I was being punched. I was, you know, sweating. I was like, oh, I'm going to be sweating for the picture. Like, it was just so frustrating, and it was scary. I'm the type of person that if I'm in a queue, possibly buying something in a shop, if I ever go out shopping, because I mostly online shop because I'm too anxious to go out, I will practice what I'm going to say before I get up to the person. So I'll be saying, no, I don't need a bag, and oh yes, the weather's nice, and like I'll be saying all this in my head, having a conversation that's not even happened yet, just to prepare myself, just in case. I don't really know why. I just having face-to-face conversations with people freak me out, and I can't do it. I just can't do it. And it's the same in, like, if I was ordering something in a restaurant. I'm probably the most annoying person to go out with in a restaurant, because I'm constantly asking questions and what's right and what's wrong and blah blah blah. And before the person comes, I'm just like saying over and over and over again, like out loud, what I want, what I'm going to order, so that when I order it, I'm not just like, that's it, and blah, I'll have, and ketchup and receipts please, goodbye. People sitting with me are just like, not again. But it's just me, and I can't help it. So all the way up to meeting Colleen, you know, it was getting closer to me, and I was like, what am I going to say, what am I going to say? And when I got up to her, I was just so full of emotion. I'm also the type of person that when I'm so appreciative of something and something's just really overwhelming me, I cry, like a lot. When I first met Rapunzel when I was 18 in Florida, I cried because she's my favourite princess, and it was just, I was like, I'm so grateful and thankful for this opportunity to meet Rapunzel. My mum bought me Little Mix tickets for my birthday one year, and I just cried because I love Little Mix, and I just was so happy. It's very strange, yes, crying because you're happy. So I just could not believe that, one, I'm actually here meeting Colleen, one of my favourite people in the world, someone I've watched on YouTube, and now I'm meeting her. And also, two, I don't know what I'm going to say to her, I'm not prepared. And three, there was a sense of, I'm so proud of myself as well, because I managed to get myself to the theatre, which is a major plus. There's been things that I've ended up having wasted money on because I've bought a ticket for something and I've just not been able to go because my anxiety stopped me. So I was just so proud of myself that I managed to get to the theatre. I managed to stay for the Q&A without having to leave, and then managed to stay in the line until I met her. So yeah, I was in floods of tears, which was horrendously embarrassing. and she was trying to be like, don't cry, are you okay? She was so lovely, but she was being so nice about it, like, oh, it's okay, like, you're okay. And I was just like, stop. And I was trying to be like, oh, I love you so much and thank you and this is amazing and I can't wait to see the show, but it just, nothing was coming out because I just froze. And we took a couple of pictures together, which was really nice, but I just totally wrecked it. Like, I wrecked the whole experience, and I just, yeah, I was raging with myself at the end, and I came away and I was just like, oh, I can't believe I just did that. I then met her the year after because she came back, and I was like, I'm definitely getting a meet and greet ticket. I'm going to redo this and I'm going to actually speak words to her and not cry. So I managed to go to the theatre again. I managed to stay for the Q&A. I got in the line. I was ready. I was just getting ready to say something to her. And as soon as I got up to her, she started the conversation with me first, when I had already prepared a conversation that was not planned. You know, I had prepared something, and her starting the conversation first just totally threw me off. She said she liked my outfit. I was wearing dungarees, and she said straight away, she was like, oh my god, I love your dungarees. And I was just like, oh, thanks, cool. And then I just had the experience from last year in my head, because I was like, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. So then I ended up bringing that up, and I was like, why are you talking about the last time when you cried? So I ended up saying to her, I was like, oh, the last time I met you, I cried, so I'm trying not to do that. And that's all I said to her. That's all I said. She was really lovely. She was like, oh, good, we're going to stay not crying this time. We're going to get some pictures. We're going to get through it. Thanks for coming. She was just probably the most loveliest person I've ever met on this earth. And still to this day, I've not been able to express my love for her work and for just her as a person, and I just hate myself every day for that. So the second meet and greet that I did was last year, in 2019. Dougie Poynter from McFly brought an awesome book out about the environment, and he did a book tour where he did like a meet and greet and signed your book. I saw this and I was immediately like, yes, I need to go and meet Dougie. I have been a massive McFly fan since the beginning of their time. Back then when they started out, it was kind of like you're either a Busted person or a McFly person. I was a McFly person. I made little PowerPoints like on my computer, like when I was like 10, of like all their information, like different coloured backgrounds, and Harry is the drummer, Tom is the singer and guitarist. Like I was just a weird super fan, silly little girl. But I love their music. Their music just reminds me of my childhood as well, and I love all their new stuff that they're bringing out right now as well. Dougie is like unbelievably good looking. I would definitely say he is my celebrity crush. He's gorgeous, and he's also like super talented and super funny. Like his Instagram is really awesome as well. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely meeting him, and I love the environment and trying to save the planet as well. So what better like circumstances? And I thought, right, before I go, I'm going to have all this stuff to ask him about the earth and the environment. It's the perfect situation, and I've got a subject to go in with. Me and my friend got there. There was a pretty big queue, which worried me already, because the longer I hang about, the more chance I'm going to bow out and say, no, I can't do this, like, because I'm overthinking it. So I was really nervous. I was thinking, please don't leave, like, you can do this, come on. It's not going to be as bad as what happened at Colleen, hopefully. So we were getting closer and closer, and I just was losing my mind. My palms were sweaty. I was like, oh no, like what is going to happen if like I have to give him my book to sign and it's all sweaty? Like, what do I do? It was in summer as well, so even though we were in Scotland, it was quite warm, and I was just I was worried about what I was looking like as well. I was just so losing my mind. I wanted to talk to him about music as well and tell him that he's inspired my music and I love his like different kind of vibe, and I just there was just so much going on in my head. So it was my turn and I went up, and he is the coolest guy on this earth. Just kind of sitting there like, hey. I was just like, hi, and the first thing in my mind was, you are gorgeous. I was like, you can't say that to him, that's just not right. I ended up just starting blabbering about the weather in Scotland. I was just like, so, do you like it here in Glasgow? It's not raining for once. And in my head was like, no, no, no. Why are you doing this? Come on, you practiced and prepared something in the queue, but when you get up there, you're talking about the weather. And he was very lovely. He was like, yeah, Glasgow's cool. I love coming to Glasgow. Definitely come here again. And then I quickly jumped in. I was like, all right, you're going to see him next year, which is now this year. So I said, oh, I'm coming to see you. And I was like, that's a subject topic, you know. A subject topic? That's a subject we can talk about. So I was like, I'm coming to see you next year. And he was like, oh, cool. And I was like, give me something else, Dougie, because I don't have anything. But then he asked me what my favourite McFly song was. Now, does this happen to anyone else where someone could ask you what your favourite movie is and you've seen a million movies but you just suddenly, you don't remember anything you've ever seen? Same with songs. I know millions of songs. Someone asked me my favourite song, it's like I've never heard any. Well, that happened to me when Dougie asked me what my favourite McFly song was. He asked me and all of a sudden I was like, don't think I've heard a McFly song ever. And I was just so annoyed. I was like, think, come on, you were probably listening to them this morning. My brain was eventually like, Room on the Third Floor, that's your favourite, go. So that's what I said. I said, oh, my favourite's Room on the Third Floor, your first album. Like, I loved that song when I was younger and I still love it now, kind of thing. Probably didn't come out as clean and as nice as that. But then Dougie, he's got such bants, like he's really cool and funny, and then he was like, oh, I don't think that's right. And I was like, is it not? I was freaking out. I was like, have I said something wrong? And he was like, there's another one that's the correct answer. And I was like, panicking. I was like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? Dougie's like getting raging at me. It wasn't really. Whoa, I was like, I don't know what to say. Like, what do I do now? I was like, And then he said, I think your favourite one starts with a T. Now, Dougie wrote the song Transylvania, and it is a, I was about to swear, and it is a bop. It's amazing. I love it, and it's probably one of my favourite songs just generally out of every song I've ever heard. But again, I just couldn't remember the song and my brain was just panicking. It was just going like a million miles a minute. It's like sometimes with anxiety, it's like that scene in SpongeBob SquarePants where all the sponges are like running around in his head. That was me at that point in time. So I was standing there, he's looking at me like, you should know this, you say you're a fan, you should know. And I'm like, ah. And eventually it came to me and I was like, oh yeah, Transylvania, of course, that's what I meant to say, that's, yep, I want to go home. It was just so embarrassing. He was just having a laugh, you know, but I was standing there like, can I rewind and start this all again? He then said, right, let's get a picture, and we got a couple of cool pictures together, which was really nice. He was awesome and just so lovely. But every day I think about how I answered his question wrong, and Dougie, I'm sorry. Now, my third experience with meeting celebrity was the most recent one. It was only a couple of weeks ago, and it was when I met Lennon Stella. Now, Lennon Stella is storming it right now. She is just amazing in every single way. I am obsessed with her music and I'm just obsessed with her. She's gorgeous. She's just like a fashion icon. I've watched her on YouTube since her and her sisters first started out when she was like 10 or something. She's just incredible. And even back then I was always saying to people, you have to listen to these girls like on YouTube, and they were just like, what are you talking about? And I was like, these people are so amazing. And now she's like just taking over the world with her music. Anyway, I had so much fear and anxious thoughts before meeting Lennon, because she is just perfect in every way and I'm not. I was thinking that this is probably one of those ones that you won't get another chance to meet her again, because she is American for a start, which not a lot of American artists come over here, and if they do, it's kind of like for one night and one night only, and they'll move on to the next place in the UK or something, and they don't generally do meet and greets. And she's kind of just getting started in the industry, like with her own music, and I was like, probably this time next year she'll be too big to do meet and greets. So I was like, I have to get this right, like I have to get this right. I'm not too happy with the way I look right now, so picking an outfit was stressful. Everything I put on, I was like, no, that's horrible. I look disgusting in that. And it was just like, before I went, I was thinking, I'm not going. I'm just not going. I can't find anything that makes me look half decent. I'm not going.
Oh. That's it, I'm not going.
I eventually found something that was half decent, and I just was like, fine, go with it. I paid a lot of money for this ticket as well, so I just willed myself to get myself out the door no matter how I was feeling that day, because it was a lot of money and this was a once in a lifetime opportunity. Lindsay, come on. I made it to the venue. Woohoo! This meet and greet was actually after the concert. Although I did enjoy the gig, I was stressing out the whole time. She was standing in front of me on the stage, but I was like, oh, what am I going to say to her? How's it going to look? I was freaking out. The gig was unreal. It's probably between that and Little Mix. It's difficult to say what's been my favourite, but Lennon Stella, it was an art form. It wasn't a concert, it was art on stage. Every minute of it was just unbelievable. She was just, no words. It was fantastic, and if she does come again to anywhere in the UK, never mind if it's Scotland, I'm going, because it was just amazing. She was so like up for connecting with her fans, like everyone in the audience. She wasn't there just to be like, right, I'm singing and then going. She was just loving it, which is really good for like the crowd, because if they're loving it, you're loving it. So it was just really awesome. The gig finished and we had to go and meet in this little place to go and then meet her, which was stressful enough because I'd never been to that venue either before, and I was like, what if I don't find everyone and they go without me and then I don't get to meet her? And so all that was going on in my head, but I found everyone, and we then went to go and meet her. And when she came in the room, I was just ready to melt to the floor. I was so nervous. I was just like, oh, why have I done this to myself? But I was like, no, you have to do this. You love doing this kind of thing. Come on, like, amazing, let's do it. I got in the queue to meet her, and I saw that obviously she's just done like a big show and she'll be tired, and it was pretty much just jump in, she says hello, and you get a picture and then you go. So I was like, I have to say something to her, like I can't come away and just have been a mute. Like, can you imagine? I just had visions of myself approaching her and just being like, and I was like, no, I can't have that being like the experience I'm going to have with Lennon Stella. I thought of something in my head. As soon as I get up to her, I'm just going to hit her with, I love your music and I love you and this has been awesome, your gig was amazing, kind of thing. I got closer and closer. Then it was my turn, and as I got up to her, she started to talk to me. So she started to tell me that she liked my outfit and that she liked my dress, but I ended up interrupting her and it was just such like a schoolgirl error. I was just so anxious and I was just wanting to get out what I'd planned to say. I interrupted Lennon Stella, and I just think about it all the time, and I felt so rude, but I was embarrassed and it just came out. And with anxiety you can't really control it, and it just oh, it didn't even come out the way I wanted it to. It was just more like a, oh my god, I love you so much, like a silly little fangirl, which I'm not. And I was just like, you've inspired me so much with music and fashion, thank you. Like, it was just so embarrassing. And she was just so lovely. She was like, oh my god, thank you so much. And she gave me like the nicest cuddle like ever. And I just feel so embarrassed, and I'm so sorry, Lennon, for interrupting you. I don't interrupt anyone. I'm normally the one that people interrupt on because nobody cares what I have to say. So, and I'm used to that. And I'm just like, oh well, everyone else is more important in the room, but literally the most important person in the room, and I interrupted her. So angry with myself, and I looked horrible in the picture as well. So now that experience is just me interrupting Lennon Stella, and the picture to match is awful. So yeah, that's my experiences of meeting celebrities while suffering from severe social anxiety. Has anyone else ever met any celebrities? I'd love to hear the stories in the comments. Even better if they're as embarrassing as mine. Make me feel a little bit better. Subscribe to my channel down below and click the notification buttons and all that kind of stuff. I'm also on social media, which you can find here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also if you have any other requests of what you'd like to see on this channel, hit me up in the comments. So thank you for joining me and reliving my horrors of social anxiety. I shall catch you next time. Bye!